right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Feeling good on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It is kind of Wednesday.
Early Wednesday.
Yes, yeah. We are, full disclosure, we are pre-recording this episode because we're both on the road.
Yay, haha.
Happy times on the road.
You're somewhere. I'm in America.
Pretty sure I'm in Europe right now.
That's where I am right now.
Yep.
Watching myself.
Yes. For those of you guys watching, do us a favor, smash that like button, and a couple of us will be in the comment section kind of responding to things. So, yeah.
You can still ask your questions, still kind of interact with the boys.
Yes.
It'll be either me or Derek. We just kind of realized, you know, you've ton going on the next couple months. I got my last run of the year. So it's just,
I'm home in September. Full disclosure, it was August when we were doing this. But I am only home in September for, I think, 7 days of the whole month. And into the first week of October.
Yeah.
So it's, hectic month with lots of travel, all good stuff. Guitar Summit in Europe, you know, stuff in Tennessee, and
Guitar Summit, Gear Fest.
Woodshed.
Yeah, like September, not to mention it's Guitar Month.
It's Guitar Month, which we have some deals for Guitar Month, and it is your last chance, possibly, I don't know. Guitar Month may have just ended when I show this.
But it's funny because like I was just thinking, man, there's a lot going on this month. It's like, oh yeah, it's literally Guitar Month. Like everything, I think everybody wants to kind of do things in line with that to
yeah, actually, if I check my phone right now, Luke put up the last chance for Guitar Month thing. We timed this all so well and thought it out oh so well.
Yeah.
Yes, you will still. Today is pretty much your last chance for any of our Guitar Month deals, so grab one. Now, you guys may have noticed, or you may not, I'm not sure, but, well, there's 2 new amplifiers that you probably saw some other content come out already elsewhere about these, but at Guitar Summit, we released 2 amps, as well as Guitar Fest at Sweetwater, because, we forgot that.
Future past tense.
Yes.
It's like Ariel's record, future present tense, or whatever it is.
Yes.
But future past tense release of the amps.
So we want to take a chance and crap our pants and show you guys these wonderful new creations from us. You know, Mr. Daniel Trudeau and Mr. Joseph S. Landreth.
Joey Landers.
Oh yeah, but first, yes.
Cheers to Joey Landers.
Joey Lambert,
sorry.
Jorby Lamboop.
Cheers. We got the new D20 V2 and the Joey Landreth Edition D20.
Luke, could you do me a quick favor while we're doing this? Could you go grab us a Mark I D20, please?
Yes.
We're gonna get into all things D20.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the development of the D20, when this miracle of guitar ampistry came to existence.
Ampistry. I will say, man, like, as much as it's our simplest amp, it definitely changed a lot for us.
The year was 2019, and the guitar world was yearning for a new product that they could run direct, that gave the sultry saturation of tubes, but yet allowed the convenience of modeling.
Won't piss off your wife or your neighbors.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, 2019.
Yeah, it was a crazy time, man. That was, when did I start? I started late 2018, so this was like the first big push we really did when I started. Like really working in the shop. Yeah, it was the D20, which is crazy to think that it was 6 years ago. Like,
man, I remember, so we went to NAMM with it in 2019. I remember doing the marketing stuff, because that's mostly my job here, is to try to think of ways to tell you guys about products that you guys will pay attention to. And, well, let's just say that sometimes we hit home runs and a lot of times it's swing and a miss, but hopefully you guys see this.
Sometimes we get hit with the ball and get a forced base.
Yeah, exactly. Walk.
Yeah.
So I remember doing the marketing and we were like, hey, we could do like, you know, like world's first reactive load embedded amplifier, like IR loading amp. And I was like, but what if we're not the world's first? Like, what if somebody else comes out with one of these before us at the NAMM show, or like just before NAMM? I'm like, we shouldn't do that. But what I did know was that it was the world's first 2 notes torpedo embedded amplifier.
Correct.
Because our IR loading, for anybody who's not really familiar with us, our IR loading, we use the 2 Notes Torpedo technology.
Yeah.
Those guys have been great friends for a very long time. I worked with them for years when they were starting their North American operation.
Which is kind of how this became a thing.
Yes. Yeah. I found out about it. It was under, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it wasn't under contract, but, like, somebody else had exclusivity to it.
To 2 Notes, yeah.
To 2 Notes for a few years. And then, to be honest, like, the deal just didn't materialize the way that it was supposed to for 2 Notes, so they decided to open it up to others. And because I was working with them, Guillaume approached me and said, hey, like, if I let you have the embedded tech, would you build it into the generator before NAMM? And I was like, no, I wouldn't build it into the generator. I'm like, but we could build it into a different amp.
Wow, timing, Luke.
And
that was great.
Yeah, I said I had a different idea for something that I thought would, solve a lot of problems for guitar players, because there's a couple of things that we were trying to achieve with the original D20. Number one, I had been chatting with our good buddy Joey, and he had been using the Dynamis amps. He'd use the combos and the heads. He had used a Generator 740 for a bit, but mainly he really liked the clean channel from the Dynamis for a pedal platform. And I had said, like, well, if we were to design something else, like, give me the wish list. Like, what would you want it to be? He's like, honestly, man, he's like, something small. Like, if it was possible to fly with a head, that would be amazing. It doesn't need to be much bigger than, 20 to 30 watts.
No.
Yeah, he's like, and just single channel. He's like, don't bother. He's like, the drive channel on your amps sound good. He's like, I'm getting all my drives from pedals, which is funny because these days he's getting most of his drives from the amp.
Totally. But that, like, especially in 2019, I mean, things have obviously, in many regards, come a long way in the last 6 years. But there was a lot of people that, I remember when I was doing fly dates at that time, you showed up and you had a Madfliss or you had a Fender or whatever.
Yeah.
You brought your pedal rig and that was your sound into whatever they supplied you with.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, right?
Well, I looked at it as like, okay, I'd been working backline at, like, when I worked as a rigger, I'd always, like, work in backline when we weren't actually rigging. And I was like, man, the amount of times, like, people show up and they're like, okay, which is the best of the Fender Deluxes or, like, the Blues Deluxe? Like, which one isn't tired and sounding like shit? And, I'd be like, this one, that one.
Yeah.
Don't touch that one.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
was happening all the time. So I was like, okay, well, I'm like, we could do a couple things here. Like, we could make the small, like, 20-watt amp. And I had said to Joey, I'm like, what if you could run it direct and load IRs in it and it work? He's like, well, that would be awesome. And I'm like, okay. So that kind of gave me the basis for the D20. And it's funny because I did actually offer it to Joey as, like, we could do, like, a signature amp. And he's like, you know what? I just, like, kind of don't want to be, like, tied down to anybody at the time. And I was like, okay. And then when I talked to him about it last year, like, before we did the D25, I was like, well, I said, I know you did the signature thing with 2 Rock, but it was a, like, super limited run, and they were $7,500 bucks.
And they sound unbelievable, but they're a lot of money.
Crazy good,
Yeah,
right? But you can't get one.
No.
I said, like, are you still kind of feeling that way? He's like, wait, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, like, originally I kind of offered the D20, and he's like, oh no. He's like, that was the D20 that we were talking about? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I've made a terrible mistake. So
the Michael Blues quote.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so anyway, that's where the concept for it came, and I thought, like, well, this could also solve a couple of problems, right? Like, we could, build something that would be a great pedal platform fly rig for side guy players that don't want to deal with tired backline amps, or just guys that want to record at home at night, direct to your interface, and away you go. The other thing was we were getting a lot of comments about how expensive the Generator 120 was.
Yes.
And I fully understand anybody who pays attention to us. Our stuff is not inexpensive. We manufacture on the other side of that wall. So we are in Canada, and it is not cheap to do anything here.
Yeah, it's not.
And so we get that. But I was like, you know what? This would also be a way that, like, if you wanted to try out some Revv stuff, it's still not cheap, but it's not $3,000.
Yeah.
You could buy a D20, and like maybe you only wanted the purple channel, so
Exactly.
you buy that and a G3 pedal, and then you have the Revv voicing, but you could also take every other pedal that you love and
do the same thing.
It'll take every pedal that
Yeah.
you love and make it sound awesome. So
As our friends in the Trailer Park Boys say, it kind of got two birds stoned at once.
Yeah.
Because it's like you could do like the pedal platform thing, but it also was a more affordable way to actually have our sound. Like you get our power section, you get our preamp section, but it's a lot more affordable. It's more customizable if you only want the purple channel or if you only
Yes.
want the green channel. So it was like a practicality and flexibility move, you know?
also, hot take for everybody, just so you know that we don't just try to shill the most expensive stuff that we have. I prefer a D20 with this guitar and a G20 a G3 pedal.
Yeah.
To do the purple channel high gain thing, if I can't be really loud.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Like at a lower volume, because I can push that and the G3 smacks the front of that harder
yeah.
than what I can get out of a 120 or even out of the G50.
Mm-hmm.
I actually primarily still use a pair of D20s
Yeah.
with a pedal board as my rig for most things.
I feel like on my end of things, it was the same thing with the tilt overdrive, which came later, of course, where it's like I hadn't quite diversified my playing as much when this was, and I'm still working on that. But like, when this came out, I was just ripping metal, you know,
Yep.
like most of the time. And to me, it was like, okay, cool, like it's a clean amp. Like I don't know how much use this will have for me, but just listening to the way that this receives a pedal that's boosting the front of it is so tight, like with high gain tones, like
Yes.
even compare, and like G20 is a great amp. I would take a G3 with this over the G20 any day of the week. And I think it's just the way that it saturates the front end, the way the 6v6s break up, like everything. And the tilt overdrive was the same for me with the boost. It's like, this is just a really practical high gain tool to
Yeah.
get rid of muddiness. So a couple products that kind of struck me by surprise and have become kind of staples of what I like to use as well.
Luke is currently shaking his head at us about the fact that he's G20 ride or die.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, dude. Like, I don't know. I just think like, to me, this. Well, no, like.
You missed it, Luke.
Okay, that's fine. This is. What are you doing there, buddy?
Just two birds.
Yeah, two birds stoned at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen to you. No, it's like the G20 to me like is the same kind of portability factor, but with a smaller amp like this where it's two channels, I'm still gonna want pedals even if I have both of those
Yes.
channels in the amp,
Yeah.
and this receives pedals to me better, so it just kind of negates having to worry about that, you know?
I just don't play that much high gain anymore when I actually
Yeah.
play anywhere. So like here, yes, sit down, plug in, and rip on 120s or G50s. Yep, every day if I can.
Yeah.
But when I go and play at church, I need the church sounds, which is
Yeah.
lots of reverb and
Like slightly broken, but not fully distorted.
Yep.
And like the push-pull gain on this, like I remember at first, like I was running a clean, you're like pull the pot out and just turn the gain down, and it's
Yes.
like you get like this really kind of crisp top end in a nice way. Like it's not fully distorted, it's not fully clipping, but there is a little bit of that grit to it. And it the more you push it, the more everything, as you like to say, blooms. It opens more.
yeah. I mean,
know?
the G20's wide switch does very similar, or like the 120
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
G50 have it. It does kind of the same thing. It's just a little bit more limited to me because it's a fixed position thing with the wide switch. Where
Yeah.
with that push pull gain, like you can. There's something that
manipulate it.
happens
Yeah.
to not just the saturation, but the EQ of the Mark I as you shift that gain when it's pulled.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the EQ opens up more.
Yes.
I feel like, and I'm not sure what's going on inside it to make it do that, but I do.
Magic. Magic.
Little gnomes in there.
Exactly.
But little mini Dan Trudeau.
And that's why we had to move on, because those gnomes formed a union and we could no longer afford the gnomes in the Mark I.
No.
No.
It's like the Christmas elves. They just had enough.
Yeah,
they moved on.
We've moved on to the Christmas elves in the new Mark II.
Yes, exactly. They have
No more union gnomes.
They've no longer unionized. Yeah.
Although I feel like now that we've said this, the Christmas elves are probably going to unionize. No one's going to watch this shit. 'Cause
He's always listening, bro.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that was, I think this, kind of simplifying what we were doing reached a lot more people just because of, the way you were able to manipulate something so simple. So yeah. It's funny. I was just we just had one of these like Sam Guyana got one, like intervals producer who got the Junos and stuff, and he's kind of going back to the same thing. He's like, I've been doing everything inside the box for so long, and I don't necessarily want to have to push air in a cabinet, but like people are like, pedals are hot right now. Pedals are hot again, right? Like, I mean, they have been for a while, but I feel like for a minute everything was modelers. Now people are going back to cool pedals and stuff again, but you still want to be able to record in that same way. That you have, you know, even like turning the IR. This is my favorite thing to do with the D20. Turn the IR off on the amp and load it on your channel strip, and then you can audition IRs after you've recorded your track. Like, there's lots of flexibility in the way that the two-note stuff works, while staying, you know, very straightforward and easy to dial. So like that. So you're running the Joey.
Yes. So I don't know how we should do this today, because we're going to do a couple things. I think we'll talk about the differences between Mark I and Mark II.
Yeah.
And we'll talk very briefly about the differences between the Joey and the Mark II.
Yeah, which are similar to the differences you'd expect with the D25 and the JL20.
Yeah, so let's just get that out of the way right now. So both amps are launching at the same time. They are probably, or not even probably, they are already out by the time you guys are seeing this.
Yeah.
We'll show a little bit of differences between the two by maybe dialing them the same, using the same guitar.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Plug back and forth. Okay.
AB.
Sam nailed it on the head. So we did the D25, and then we did the Joey D25, right? Differences there. The Joey handles low end differently, and that's because it's built to handle his open C tuning, where everything is dropping, and handling like fuzz pedals.
Hairy tones.
Yes.
Yeah, which are quite boomy, which you and I struggle to get to sound good, and Joey just thrives on. Like, that's 100% his thing. Like him and Ariel and players like that, when I plug into those rigs, it really, really makes me appreciate how good of players those guys are. That they can make those things sound like that, because I feel like I'm used to quite a bit of saturation that can maybe mask a bit of the variance in the attack that you get.
Yeah,
those
I'm just gonna try to move my chair so you guys can actually see the whole amp.
Those types of tones are super revealing, but the reason with the difference in low end, the Joey amp has a bit more focus in the low end.
Luke.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you could just put the camera on.
I love how terrible the color shift is, because the overhead cam is just like cheap garbage.
It's okay.
And then we go to the front,
and it's like,
oh, there it is.
Nice and crisp.
So,
yeah, the low end on the Joey amp is more focused and precise.
Yes.
I would say less like open and loose. It's quite a bit tighter, as is the mid range. Yeah.
I'll turn my delay off there for a second.
I believe that's kind of the primary difference. Like, I think it has a little bit, like, it's the same wattage, but I feel like you can push it a little more too.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's intended to have a little more headroom to be able to handle those fuzzier tones without getting totally out of control.
Well, the circuit change that they did just naturally does that. So the transformer sets and everything, these amps are very similar.
Yes.
Power section wise, they're identical. Pair of 6V6s, pair of ECC 83s for the preamp section. But yeah, just slightly different voicings on the gain. So you know what I'll do is I'll set it all at noon.
Yeah, I'll do the same here.
It is a little, like, my Schecter's a little bit dark, so, like, compared to a lot of guitars, so I normally have the...
And that's just no pedals, nothing, just everything you need.
Yep, so give me your cable now.
Yeah, we'll just switch back and forth.
Yeah.
And I got the tuner on there. Let me know when you're good.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, oh, and your...
Delay. That's the same.
You're also louder than I am right now because I turned the L cap on, which
here
fucks everything. So the saturation level on the D20 is actually higher, like the gain, than on the Joey, because Joey's is going to gain up more
from what you're giving it.
What you're giving it, and with pedals. So
you're going to mute that. I can hear the difference in the brightness, though.
Oh yeah, there's way more spank in this.
Yeah.
Because that gets a little unruly with his like lower tunings.
Yes, and the fuzz I could see getting quite pointy, you know.
Yeah. It's got huge, sharp, pointy teeth.
Here, I'll do that. So this is the Joey. This is.
Yep. You know, we make an ABY switch, or don't we? No, we don't. I wish we did. We have an ABY switch. We could have done that with this, but yeah.
Yeah, so like it's the frequencies aren't that different, but I can kind of just feel the low end.
Yes.
Like is more like to my attack.
Yeah.
Let's see if we switch with this. Yeah, it's like more focused.
Yeah, the low end on Joey's is quite a bit more like focused, so that when he has that like kind of punch with the baritone, because he's doing a lot of stuff with baritones, or just his regular tuning is drop C.
Yeah, open C.
Open C, whatever.
Yeah, it's a cool tuning.
We're
We're crossing here.
crossing streams, buds.
Oh, jeez.
On the stream.
Crossing on the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is brighter. And I could see, like, I like how that feels for what I'm doing, but I could see how that would get quite a bit more abrasive with those types of, like, airy tones, you know?
Yeah, and I should have this running, honestly, like...
Yeah. Push.
No, against your... Just because of the L cap.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I'll
it's
leave
pulling
that.
it down before...
And that's not going to change your tone too much.
So, yeah. Yeah, like, there's more bloom there, I think.
Top end-wise, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there's more, yeah. The bottom is just more focused on the Joey. So anyway, that's the differences between the Joey and the stock D25, or sorry, D20 Mark II.
Yep.
Too confusing. So D20 Mark II, D20 JL is what they're called. Joey's is also currently only available in this aesthetic, which is, I don't know how easily you guys can see this. Maybe Luke, give me the overhead cam and we'll see. So this is actually Tolex we don't normally use.
The color's frigged, but you can see it.
Yeah. So this is like brown Nubtex, which is very similar to a 1960 Super Reverb, where our amps are Bronco Tolex.
Yeah, the texture's different.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost like in between a Fawn and a Bronco.
Yes. Yep.
You know? Like it has like a little bit of the irregularities in the way the patterns sit, but it still is like not fully ribbed.
Yeah, it's not as ribbed for your pleasure there, Sammy, or what?
Fun, yeah, exactly. You said nub, and that's what that made me think. So.
That's what it's called. It's called Nubtex.
Nubtex, ribbed for your pleasure.
Yes.
There we go.
And then it's got the oxblood grill cloth.
Yeah.
Like his 1960 Super. They look fantastic.
I'm glad we started doing this, man. Like, I know we started with the D40, but like the Tolex faceplates definitely changed a lot.
You mean grill cloth faceplates? You're welcome.
Not the Tolex faceplates, thank you. The grill cloth faceplates, and I love the tan, but this definitely has like that 50s kind of look to me. I'm usually not a fan of the chrome hardware as much, but with this, it's like it totally ties in. That wouldn't look the same with the black hardware because it's a little more modern looking, but and kind of the old Fender style knobs.
Yep.
As well, which is sweet. These have kind of the standard D20 knobs.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And the teal jewel, reminiscent also of an old American style amp.
Yep. Well, that's Joey's that's his thing that he does is he puts it's a green jewel with a blue LED inside, and that's how we do the D25 Joey.
He's done that like with his amps himself?
Yeah, what he builds. Well, he builds a bunch of his own amps at home now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been building like...
I knew he's always tinkering with like pedals and stuff. I didn't know he was actually doing amps.
Oh yeah, dude, he's built like a clone of like something that's kind of Dumbly. He's built like Princeton's and yeah.
He doesn't live that far from me. I should go check it out.
Oh, you should, yeah.
He like literally down the street.
That's his favorite new pastime and has been for like the year that he was off when they had their second little girl was he was doing a ton of like building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so
crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the differences between these two, so you guys know. What we're gonna do now, though, is I'm actually gonna pull the Joey one out, and we're gonna plug in the Mark I, and we're gonna talk about the differences between the Mark I and the Mark II.
Just maybe two. Feature-wise, too.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Oh, one thing I will mention: the cabinets are different now. So there will be way more information about this later, but
soon.
These cabinets are actually featuring brand new speakers that we worked with WGS, and we actually developed and voice speakers specifically for the Dynamis series of amplifiers. So I would say that we went with like their ET90, like the ET65, the the G12H75 creamback, like kind of all of the like creamback style speakers that we liked.
Yeah.
And we told them like what we didn't like about some of them, what we did like about others. And
I remember when we went to your church that day. And, we brought in, it was you, me, Manny, Dorian, Luke, Dan was there.
Yep.
And yeah, we just went to Scott's church, Derek's brother, and basically set up.
We shot out like
8 different cabs or something?
8 different cabinets, but we changed speakers on a few of those cabinets, and we went through and like highlighted, recorded all of them, highlighted what did we like about them, how did we like how they responded to the D40 or to the G50.
Yeah, like high gain or like whatever. And it was crazy listening to the difference between like multiple V30 style speakers of different brands and being like, whoa, that is quite different, you know?
Yes.
And it's kind of like people with tubes too. It's like, well, how different can, you know, a set of EHX 6V6s be versus something else? And it's like, everyone's doing their own thing. And I was really surprised specifically with the difference of all the V30s. And then the ET90s too. I think like the ET90 and the creamback style speakers were kind of everybody's favorite in some way, but there was a lot of variance between those two.
Yep.
And it kind of made us realize that like the V30 and the creamback were pretty, like, you know, those are what we're used to, so like they kind of sounded perfect to us, but like listening and comparing, there were certainly things from every speaker that we liked and didn't like.
Yes.
And kind of being able to marry those things into something similar to what we're used to, but with those aspects that we like or don't like, either taken away or added. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I'm laughing at Luke, so.
Why would he do?
Oh, just he Vanna Whited himself here, coming in and getting us all set up.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to turn the delay off. And I think what's probably best to do here is, let's first of all talk about the main differences, right?
Yep.
So, first off, aesthetics, right?
Metal.
So,
wood.
Aluminum lunchbox.
Yeah.
Tolex head shell.
Yeah.
So, fun story about that. If you've watched the launch content, you'll probably have heard about this or watched the Golden Age of Gear episode that maybe isn't out yet, maybe is out yet, probably. I think it's out.
Probably by the time this is, it will be.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we started with the aluminum lunchbox. Fold down handle, came in a nice little camera style carrying like little gig bag thing.
Yep.
The intention was make it as portable as possible because we wanted guys to fly with them.
Yes.
Not very many people fly with them.
You can put it in the overhead. We have done that. Both of us have, and it works. And it's not like a guitar where they're like, you can't bring that. They're like, oh, it's a bag.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to fight you on it.
But not a lot of players that I know, that's not how they actually utilize these amps more than anything. Where these get used the most is actually session guys carrying them, and because they're nice and lightweight, that makes it easy. But I remember my buddy Chris Condon in Nashville, who's a pretty busy session player.
Yeah. And a good guy.
Great guitar player, really awesome dude.
Yeah.
He got one really early on, loved it, and I remember him saying like, "Hey, could you ever do like a normal like Tolex head shell for this?" It's like I just think it would look cooler. Also, he's like, the first couple sessions he was going to, he would walk in, and when he pulled it out, I remember him saying that like there was a producer that was just like, no, like that's a toy. At least I'm pretty sure this was Chris. Sorry, Chris, if I've messed this story up.
Yeah.
Anyway, they because it looks like a lunchbox amp, which typically aren't high-end amplifiers.
It's not like you'd show up to a session with like an orange micro chair.
No.
Like something like that. So I think and also the metal thing does give it a bit of a rock and roll look.
Yes.
Right? So like,
so then, he's like, well, hold on, let me plug it in. And then of course, as soon as he plugged it in, the producer's like, oh, well, never mind. Like, sounds great. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But he had said like, it'd be cool if you could do like something that looked more like a traditional amplifier. So that's when we did the D20 TS. Like, we did that specifically for guys like that. And because we found, same thing, like price point wise, like it's not inexpensive to build here, like we've said, and it's also not inexpensive to build, like when you have to Tolex head shells and do everything that we're doing, right?
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time.
And these come.
And these were already, like this was already over $1,000 US when it came out.
Yeah.
And when you're spending that kind of money, like, I don't know, I feel like, Chris was right. Like, you kind of want it to feel more expensive.
Yeah,
like
totally.
And
like
aesthetics.
And it's funny because if you look at both of these amps, like obviously we're striving to improve our build quality, but it's not like either of these is something that is more durable or built better. But the but the presentation.
Hold on, that is more durable.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and the reason why is because this is aluminum.
Oh yeah, the lid.
The lids bend if they get dropped.
Yeah.
The corner protectors are most likely going to protect it.
Yeah.
Worst case, you're going to get a scuff in the Tolex or tear in the Tolex, but it's going to be okay. These I have actually seen where
they get shipped and they get cranked on their side.
Yeah, they get cranked on their side, and then the weld here. It doesn't separate, but it just like it bends.
I was talking more to
same.
But you're right, and I've seen that, and we all know how much couriers love being gentle with anything.
Oh yeah.
Like when your job is to deliver something safely and you don't care.
Oh yeah.
That's the amount of stuff I've seen. Like I would say more often than not, we get more shipping damage claims than actual amp failures, and like people will literally watch the door cam footage of the guy just like. Throwing it under their door. It's like
it says fragile this end up.
We put massive fragile stickers on the boxes and it doesn't do anything. So I will agree with you on that actually. And the number one thing, and this is not to say that these are built poorly because they're not, but like this weld joint here, if it takes enough side pressure, you could do that. With this, good luck if you're gonna crack that thing open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The amp's gonna be shot if you do that. So
yes. Yeah. For sure.
So anyway. Just saying that the reason we wanted to do stuff, and also the other big reason was we had a couple of dealers who wanted custom colors.
Yes.
So we did a few custom colors early on the D20, but powder coating it was such a pain in the ass. The amount of like, oh, this lid doesn't match the chassis, so we can't they're both seafoam green, but they're not the same green, so we can't use this lid with this chassis or this serial plate.
Yeah.
Moving to Tolex also allowed for oh, hey, you want to do something different? We have 55 Tolexes in stock.
Yeah.
Pick something that you like.
We also were launching the customizer too, and people were like, oh, I can customize my 120. It'd be cool to do that with my D20.
Yeah.
And I still have people reaching out to purchase the previous versions. Like, can I just buy a head shell because I just like how it looks more?
Yes.
And when you envision an amp in your brain, this is what you envision.
Yep. So that's the first change. Now the next thing is. We listen to you guys when you guys continually tell us something that you think would be really cool to see in an amp or to do differently. So the number one kind of comments that we got about the D20 right out of the gate were, it sounds great. I wish it had a bit more headroom to be able to keep up with like a loud drummer. Now, spoiler alert, if you want it clean, it's not going to keep up with a drummer with 20 watts. It's going to break up. Right?
Yeah.
So we did, however, test out, Dan decided to do oversized transformers, so that's not quite as lightweight as the previous version. This is now 15.5 pounds, where this guy was only 9 and a bit. So it is definitely heavier, but it's not heavy. It's not a 30-pound amplifier.
But you get more headroom that way.
You get more headroom that way. Just overall, it's not just headroom. Overall, the amp just feels better. So that's the first big change is larger transformers, more headroom.
Yeah.
Now, the EQ was shifted. When we were working with Sean on the D25, he had a lot of ideas for how to kind of revoice the top.
Yeah.
And we were all big fans of his suggestions. That's what got used in D25, in D40. So the D20 has now been updated, the Mark II is now updated to be a little bit like that. So to actually showcase that, I'll show you
we'll switch back and forth.
Yeah.
Tables,
So. Okay.
Previous version.
What's that?
That's the V1.
Yeah. Now I'm not 100% sure how accurate this is going to be because
match the gain,
of the gain.
Yeah, just maybe match that.
So this is with the gain pulled.
That level's good.
Now the other problem is we're running direct. So I think the level.
Did it come up a bit, Luke, or is that okay? That's good.
Okay. So now let me try that one. And let's just see.
Yeah,
you hear the top has more sparkle instantly.
Way more air. All the hype words, but it's true. You hear more space in it, right?
Just gonna turn that off. I'll give you that back, and then I'll let you So.
Sure.
Oh yeah, you hear
dude,
like
even just the gain structure is like, yeah.
Yeah, a lot more clarity. Okay.
Yep.
Also, I'm enjoying a wonderful Stiegel Rattler this evening.
Oh, dude, not even. Yeah. The gain structure is different. It just feels like this. I use this.
Way more bottom.
I use this visual analogy. This is like this. This is like that.
Yeah.
It's like way more open.
Let's try. Go back now because I turned the bright switch off.
Yeah.
So I realized the bright switch was on.
That's okay.
Yeah. Try that one. No, because your bright was on, which is going to be contributing a little bit to that. Which leads me to, it's
Still though. Switch back quick. Quick shifty.
Which does lead me to,
Yeah. I feel like this is just like giving me more push. Even though like the gain, like it doesn't sound like the gain is that different, this just feels like it's giving me more response.
well, also this at noon, because he restructured the gain, this at noon is not an accurate representation of that.
Where this is. But okay, so this is what I like about like the bright switch. Like obviously that's more top end, but even when I do this, oh wait, I'm on yours now, sorry. Even when I do,
hold on,
so we'll go back here, yeah, do that again.
I'll flick it on while you're playing.
Yeah, so even if I like, do that and roll the treble back a bit, there's still like the attack is different.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a matter of like adding more top end or not, but with my G50, I always leave the bright switch on.
Yes.
Even if I want less top end, I'll just roll it back on the knob because it just gives you more of like that, like, I don't know what it is. It's like more mid attack, I guess.
Yep.
So like even, you know, with this is with it off, with the treble boosted.
Yeah, it's not the same.
And as soon as I do that and roll it back a little bit, like you can just hear it in the initial like input attack, right? Like it's very different.
It's like it moves where the...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, so that brings me to like one of the next things that's different is that Dan added a bright switch. The boost, instead of doing the push-pull gain,
is switches.
And
I think that was an aesthetic choice as well as a functional choice.
Is mainly functional choice.
Yeah.
There is aesthetic reasoning for it, but the main functional choice was that there's a foot switch included now with the D20 where there didn't used to be a foot switch.
Yes, now you have control of that.
Now you have control of it while you're playing.
Yes.
Where previously it's like, you're not going to be doing this, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be like...
Okay, solo time, and just rip it out. Yeah. Point proven.
I didn't even do that on purpose, but the perfect reason of why not is that the knob just came off because we use like the spline shaft knobs, and I pulled it the wrong way.
That's pretty sweet. But point, like literally that, like this now is like, I think that was the #1 thing with the D20 that people wanted was the foot switchable boost.
Yeah, so there's a couple things. Like there was foot switchable boost, or like at least that it was on a switch or a button or something instead of the push-pull gain.
Yeah.
This was done to save room on the original one.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have room for another pot, because we wanted it to be, this is 12 inches, we wanted to stick with that form factor.
Yeah.
Also, on the G20, we moved to different push buttons. We wanted to use these. Sean didn't... No, Sean wasn't with us. I can't remember who it was that suggested using these black ones instead of like, I really like the knobs on the amp, or the switches, buttons, not switches, on the amp heat.
Yeah.
Which is what's on the G20, which are the light up ones. I like those because then we could do the aggression levels.
Yeah, and you can, like, they are then MIDI programmable too.
Yes.
It's a momentary thing, right? But
these ones are not.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this got moved, obviously, to separate game pot. The other big thing was I assumed no one was really going to buy speaker cabinets for this amplifier.
Right, because it was marketed as a direct solution.
We didn't even offer speaker cabinets to really many of our dealers. Like Sweetwater didn't sell our cabinets.
Yeah.
Like no one sold cabinets.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say nobody, but like.
Well, no, but the amount of actual just cabinets we sell now on their own is crazy. Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
versus what it was.
horrifically underestimated the amount of people that wanted a matching, like 1x12. So we didn't build reverb into the D20. Part of that was also cost. Like we were trying to keep the cost lower, and the cost of adding a digital reverb chip is. I mean, I don't know the extra components that go with it, but just the chips alone now cost us like close to $15.
Yeah.
So, like, it's an expensive single component.
Yeah. Exactly.
But the D25, the D40, like, we had a lot of people, and I'm backing up. I thought everybody was going to run the D20 direct. Like, why would you run it with a cabinet? It was built, you know, those markets, you know, the Fly guys, well, they're almost all on in-ears, right? House of Worship guys,
For sure
all
on
in-ears,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or most are in-ears. So I was like, yeah, you know, this is why build reverb in? Because Two Notes has fantastic digital reverbs. Like their room reverbs sound really great.
Yes.
So I was like, yeah, people just use that. Nope, huge complaints, or I shouldn't say huge, like large number of people being like, oh, it'd be way better if there was actually reverb built into the head.
Yeah.
Some people being like, it'd be the best if you built in the spring reverb. I'm like, well, that would negate
well, there
the
you
weight.
Go. That would kind of defeat the purpose of it. Like this is intended to be at like the whole thing with the D20 for me is like vintage tone modern format. Yeah. Right. Like, and the intent was to make something that gave you that feel and sound in a modern application that you didn't need to run it full blast mic'd up, like, you know, the whole thing.
Yeah, so we changed that as well. So you got the gain is on like now it's on a boost switch. Also, we moved to the little metal toggles.
Yeah, which I do like the look of as well.
Yes.
Honestly, my favorite change is that the level knob is an actual knob, and not just the little trim pot. It's like,
we also went to, which a couple of guys at the shop don't like it, have said that, but we went to an 1/8" headphone output instead of 1/4". And the reason that we did that is purely because in-ears are all 1/8", and the amount of guys that are using these in their home studios, that the chances are that they're just going to plug this in and maybe not have the little adapters that we lose all the time when we're looking for them.
Most recording outputs or recording headphones come 1/8" with the 1/4" adapter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like, how many times at the NAMM show have we been like,
where's
oh
the
shit,
thing?
somebody wants to try these. They've got their own ears with them, or they've got headphones, and they want to plug them in, but they can't.
Or if you're running it like, you know, in a session with other people, you're probably gonna just have it going through the recording monitors anyway. Yeah. And no one live is going to be using that jack to monitor themselves, you know?
They've got like a 20-foot, 1/8" extender.
Like a little Bluetooth headphone, like adapter thing. But no, I agree. I will say at first I saw that and I was like, oh, really? Like, because to me the 1/8" doesn't feel as solid. But you're right, from a practical standpoint, like most people are gonna either run it just with in-ears 1/8" or.
We had people emailing us being like, why did you put a 1/4" adapter on it? It's not 1977. People don't use 1/4" adapters for headphones anymore. And I'm like,
I'm out.
Fair.
I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I get it. But yeah, more headroom, foot switch included. The gain pot now being separated, like so that it's a boost. Reverb added. New aesthetic.
Yeah.
And different voicing on the top end.
And a lot of things that were suggestions that we received. And like, as Derek said, we always want to hear those types of suggestions because every now and then someone says something and we're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Like we never would have done that. Even down to when we launched the D20, I think Henning was the first guy who said it needs more headroom.
Oh yeah.
And right away,
well, we hadn't launched. We sent him one.
Yeah.
And he messaged me. He's like, it needs more headroom. And I'm like, okay, wait. So.
And if he hadn't said that,
or
it might not have hit. As
you know what?
Right?
Nope. That's not true. He did his video.
Right.
And said it needed more headroom. And I called him and I was like, really? And they weren't shipped to dealers yet.
Right.
But we launched to pre-orders.
Yeah.
And then Dan added more headroom literally within the next 2 days. He's like, okay, I'll work on it. So then every D20 that was actually built and shipped to anybody had the increased headroom. And then I wound up in Germany for Thomann or something, and I went to Henning's with the new version and said, we increased the headroom.
Try this.
And we did this before anybody got it. So like, just in case you were worried that you know, you had bought one, and does yours have the higher headroom or not? Which I answered about 100 emails from people being like, is mine the one with the expanded headroom? And I'm like, yes.
They all are.
They all are.
No customer amps shipped that way.
Yeah.
But that's also why I think it's important that we get these amps in hands of people like that to get that feedback, right? And that I think that this is kind of the result of doing that with this over the last 6 years.
That to be said, Henning has not got one of these early, and he's not getting one way early. We have people here now who give us the gears about what we're doing. So, so yeah, I'd love to hear in the comments what you guys think. Price point wise, it is a little bit more expensive because bigger transformers, adding the reverb chip in there, adding the foot switch, a bunch of the extra stuff we have to do. Also, doing Tolex head shells is a little more money than doing an aluminum lunchbox. So
not only like material costs, but like labor costs, because we have 2 guys that build them.
Well, yes, and labor costs when we did this amp versus this one have increased significantly.
Yes.
We have a good team, so I don't have any real complaints about that. So
no, not at all. Man, that feels so good.
So the retail price on this is $13.49 US. Comes with the dust cover, foot switch is included, like I said. Yep.
Wanna plug the Joey back in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Unless people want to hear, I mean, we can't tell because they're not going to comment, but like.
Well, you know what? Let's try. You have a G3 on your board?
Yeah, sure.
Let's just see how they take high gain, like comparatively. Because how's your G3 set?
Okay, hold on. Mine, the bass was cranked on. I was like, man, that is fat. Let's trade, because you also just play way tighter. Hang on. Yeah, top end's different.
Yeah, way more like lively.
Let me
you
see
know?
that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Here, you can go back to here.
Have your things.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Oh no, that's okay. We'll figure it out.
You know what? I fully understand. Joey was talking about how he uses a wireless in his studio.
Oh, 100%.
I was like, I would never do that. I don't need that. And then now, as we cross cables, I'm like, oh.
You're alternate picking too. Down picks, buddy. Nope, all down picks.
You did on the.
Nope.
You did on the.
No, I didn't. That was down.
No, you did on the first one. They can slow your hands down and see it. You didn't?
Down picks.
Oh, I can't.
We take too big of pick strokes. Smaller strokes.
What's that?
Smaller strokes.
Can't.
Yeah, see, that's closer to how much I'm moving.
My hand. I have tennis elbow, and what happens is, as soon as I start trying to downstroke like that, all of this just goes and gets super tight.
Totally. I don't have that yet. So maybe I shouldn't down pick like that, I guess.
That's actually why, like, you'll often, like, when I'm like, I can't do it. Like when we were doing the thing, like,
yeah,
like on the other one that we were doing, playing that thing, like, and I was trying to do like, I'm like,
yeah.
I have to alternate. Nice.
I'm a sugar.
So, has Torpedo Embedded.
Sorry, I didn't.
Nice. We did not show you, nor did you hear any of the matching speaker cabs that go with this because we are running the direct outs for this. Because Manny's not here and we don't have mics here today. So we will do something to show you guys in the future what the new RV90 speakers and later on the RV30s sound like. So you guys can check those out. But yeah, this is them. And like I said, the D20 has been like one of our top selling amps for, well, since shortly after it came out. It did take a little bit of time to get legs. Like it took about 6 months for people to be like, okay, I'll check it out.
I think it was because at that time we were strictly known for high gain.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I mean, it took a lot of work for people to not affiliate us with just metal.
Any hope I had of like, oh, we could market it to the like House of Worship dudes as like this great solution because they're using in-ears and it takes pedals so great. Or like we could market it to the fly rig guys because then they don't have to use a shitty backline amp. Or for the Revv metal dudes that like, want the tones of a Generator 120 and want something with a Revv voice but don't want the price tag of the 120. They can buy this and buy a pedal. Yeah, by the way, none of that translated or worked at all.
No. Which just like the G8 was going to be a flop. It's our second highest selling pedal. Yeah, like it's funny. It's funny, man. Like it's funny because we know what we do, and I think that our perception of what we do is obviously different than it's received from the public. So like based on all of that, we go into something thinking it's going to be this, and then it comes out and people are totally like, the same thing with the tilt boost. This is an amazing high gain tool, and we're like, oh yeah, I guess. Like that's how it goes.
I feel like the problem is we underestimate just the size of the market so often.
Yes.
Right? And like how many players, like down to little things, man. Like, we were just talking about this when we were doing the product launch video for this, and about how, you often say the same things as like a tag out at the end of things because you're like, what else do you say beside like, I hope you guys check it out and I hope that you like it, or I hope you dig it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, people are going to notice that we say the same shit over and over again, or like people are going to notice if you're playing the same riffs over and over again because a lot of us have the same, like.
You have your go-tos,
Yeah. And then you realize like everything you put out, it reaches a new audience.
Yeah.
That has never heard of any of your shit.
I feel like I've sabotaged myself writing music in that way, where I'll come up with an idea and it's like, oh, I've used this too many times, when in reality, no one's heard it. It's like, you just got to do what feels good. And I think that was kind of the name of the game with this, for sure.
Yeah, I can't remember. I was talking to Rob Baker about something like that too, and I don't remember it's a terrible story because I don't remember all the details. I just remember the idea being like, I was concerned that like, well, people are going to have seen this and like, know this about us, and he's like, dude, no one's gonna have seen that. Like no one's gonna take notice to, like basic things. So I was like, yeah, you're right. And if he's saying that when his channel is 560,000 subscribers or whatever it is, and he's just like, I don't even worry about that. And I'm like, and you do have, 100,000 people that watch a video.
The ratio of people noticing those things is higher, and you still don't care.
Yeah, you still don't care, and because it's not, I used to do that with like when we started the Golden Age thing. We would change our shirts, and we were just like, well, we don't really want people to know that we batch shoot 6 of these in a day.
No one's gonna.
And then by the end of I think about episode 4 of 6 in a day, we stopped changing anything. We're like, we're just keeping going.
Yeah.
And which is honestly, it is kind of the best because like once you get into like kind of a rhythm of how that's going, you kind of the rest of the day and the other things that are like kind of nagging at your mind. Because for those of you guys who don't do content, right? I don't know what it's like for other content creators, but when we sit down to do stuff, the first little bit, I know you're the same as me, the first little bit of us doing this, there's still a flood of things in the back of our minds that we've just either finished dealing with or that we haven't completely closed off.
Yeah.
And you're like, what do I got to do? And then by the time you're 10 or 15 minutes into it,
it's totally fine.
It's all settled and gone, and you're now in the moment of playing whatever piece of gear it is, right?
Playing shows, man.
What's that?
Even playing shows.
Yeah.
It's like I did my first corporate gig of the year with Big City this 2 weekends ago, and it's like those are long sets. You're playing 3 hour to hour and a half sets. Lots of requests where you have to be reading charts on call, and it's like almost always the first 3 songs. I'm just like, okay, like I have to really be paying attention to this, and like you're focusing more than you're being musical.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the night, you aren't thinking about anything. Like you just even if you're reading, like
Yeah,
you're just subconsciously doing it. It's like you have to just get into the groove of it, and it's exactly it with creating this content too. And you always second guess yourself until you get going, and then once you have your comfort zone, the good stuff comes out. And it's like,
so when we did those first like 1 or 2 days of shoots, like whatever it was of Golden Age, I remember being like, okay, we got to do this. We got to like make it seem like, you know, we do these every Thursday, right? And then I was like, wait, everybody's going to realize when something comes out on Thursday and Joey's on tour, or like I'm at NAMM and a Golden Age comes out on Thursday, like, hey, wait a second. And again, no one would notice.
You're a big phony.
Yeah. I saw you on the internet a minute ago, and now you's here.
Yeah.
How is it possible that you were on the internet and here?
Are you AI?
Yeah. So it, you know, anyway, I don't even know what the whole point of that was, besides the fact that, like...
Well, I think kind of the same thing goes for what you were saying with this amp and kind of like getting people into it, and like the way that we kind of found its comfort zone, because you kind of go into these things with your idea of what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
And then once you get going and you see how other people are reacting to it, you'd be like, oh, like this is totally different than how I thought people would receive this, and then you get new ideas and you go from there. And that's what's led to a lot of our products. Yeah, and
you also think that like, oh, I'm going to be really intentional about the messaging on this in marketing, and then you realize like it just goes way over people's heads.
It's almost better to leave it open-ended so that you see what people gravitate to and then go with that.
Yeah,
like, you know,
100%. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. If you made it this long, love to know in the comments.
And we'll be watching them too.
What you guys
interacting with you?
Yeah, what you guys think of the new D20 Mark II and the new D20 JL. It will be available by the time you see this at retailers all over the world.
All over the globe.
We are currently building like madmen.
I haven't built amps in a long time, and I've been building these.
Yes.
So it's good. And I've been enjoying it, because they're fun to make.
Yes.
And fun to play.
So, yeah. Let's
play it out here.
I mean, I'm playing the old one.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's some old shit right there.
Let's get some,
shit for that one.
What?
Thanks, everybody, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you soon.